Welcome to World Power Circles, where we break down the events that shape the modern world. Today's story: how the United States and Iran went from the closest of allies to the bitterest of enemies. This isn't just history. What happened between these two powers is still reshaping the world right now. It's the early 1900s. Oil is discovered in Iran. Suddenly, this ancient land becomes the most valuable real estate on Earth. A British company, the future BP, swoops in and builds Iran's entire oil industry. The profits, they mostly flow back to Britain. Iranians watch billions leave their country while they get almost nothing. Anger builds for decades. Enter Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh, the man who dared to say, "This oil belongs to Iran." In 1951, he nationalizes Iran's oil. The West is furious. Britain and America launch a full boycott, crippling Iran's exports. Then in 1953, the CIA and British intelligence stage a coup. Mossadegh is removed. America wanted Iran's oil, and they took it. The Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi is firmly placed in power, fully backed by Washington. For 26 years, the Shah builds roads, schools, and reforms. Women get the vote. The economy booms. But he also builds something else, a feared secret police called Savak, trained by America to silence any opposition. By the late 1970s, the Shah's brutal crackdowns spark riots across the country. The people have had enough. In 1979, the Islamic Revolution explodes. The Shah flees. Ayatollah Khomeini returns from exile and rewrites Iran's destiny. The new Iran is built on one core message: America is the great Satan, and there's no going back. November 1979, students storm the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. Dozens of Americans are taken hostage for 444 days. Overnight, a 25-year friendship turns into a war of words, sanctions, and shadows. 1980, Iraq's Saddam Hussein invades Iran. He thinks the new Islamic Republic is weak. He's wrong. The war lasts 8 brutal years. Over 500,000 people die, and America secretly backs Iraq with weapons, money, and intelligence. Then on July 3, 1988, a U.S. warship shoots down an Iranian civilian plane, killing all 290 people on board. Iran never forgets, and so begins a strategy of building power everywhere but home. Iran funds and arms Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, the Houthis in Yemen, and militias across Iraq and Syria. They call it the axis of resistance. Washington calls it state-sponsored terrorism. The clash of definitions fuels decades of tension. Meanwhile, Iran begins developing nuclear technology. They say it's peaceful. America and Israel aren't buying it. Layer after layer of crippling economic sanctions are piled on. Iran's currency crashes. Ordinary people suffer most. Then comes 2015, a rare breakthrough. After years of negotiations, the Iran nuclear deal is signed. Iran limits its nuclear program. Sanctions are lifted. Oil flows again. For one brief moment, the world exhales. But in 2018, President Trump tears it apart. He calls it a fiction and slaps the toughest sanctions yet back on Iran. Iran pushes back. Oil tankers are attacked. U.S. drones are shot down. The Persian Gulf becomes a powder keg. January 2020, the U.S. kills Iran's most powerful general Qasem Soleimani in a drone strike in Baghdad. Iran vows revenge. The entire Middle East holds its breath. A direct war almost starts. October 7, 2023, Hamas launches a devastating attack on Israel. Iran publicly cheers. Israel vows to destroy them all. Israel strikes Hamas, then Hezbollah, then targets inside Iran itself. A 12-day war erupts between Israel and Iran. Then the unthinkable: America launches direct airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. The last taboo is broken. President Trump declares mission accomplished. Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity has been destroyed. Back inside Iran, the economy is in free fall. Food prices surge 70%. Medicine runs out. The currency collapses. December 2025, shopkeepers take to the streets. Within days, millions are marching across the entire country. They chant against Supreme Leader Khomeini. Some call for the return of the Shah's exiled son, Reza Pahlavi. The regime responds with brutal force. Thousands of protesters are killed. Executions begin. Trump voices support for the protesters and warns the regime. These crackdowns will not end well for you. Khamenei fires back, blaming Trump for the unrest. The two sides weaponize Iran's people against each other, even among Iran's opposition. The feelings are complicated. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, but not every Iranian wants American rescue. From oil fields to nuclear strikes, from allies to enemies, the story of the US and Iran is far from over. And the people of Iran, caught between the regime cracking down and foreign powers playing geopolitical chess, hang in the balance. At World Power Circle, we follow every move. Subscribe now so you never miss what happens next. Drop your thoughts below. Do you think Iran will change? And who do you think really holds the power here?